about a young artist, about a young female artist, about like another breakup, and it sends me into
It takes you back there to a degree?
It sends me into a real sad place because I don't want that to keep happening. And I don't think people understand how easy it is to infer that someone who's a female artist or a female in our industry is somehow doing something wrong by wanting love, wanting money, wanting success. Women are not allowed to want those things the way that men are allowed to want them.
Do you still have blind sides? Do you still have things that catch you off guard? Things that kind of surprise you that you're not prepared for?
You know, every step of my career, there's been, you know, people questioning whether I deserve to be there. So I feel like my whole career up until very recently was spent trying to prove myself to those people and trying to prove that I belong here, that I'm going to work hard enough, that I'm going to make music that's good enough to belong here. And, you know, I've had people standing up and saying, you don't deserve to be here, either very loudly or
very loudly
in headlines or, you know, comments or whatever. But, you know, that's part of life.
Taylor Swift doesn't talk about breakups the way most people do. She doesn't describe them as failures. She doesn't describe them as losses. She describes them as lessons. And that difference changes everything. In the video, Taylor's tone isn't angry. It isn't bitter. It's reflective, almost analytical. She talks about heartbreak like someone who has studied it. Like someone who understands that endings aren't punishments, they're revelations. That tells you immediately, she doesn't fear breakups anymore. She studies them. What stands out most is how she frames emotional pain. She doesn't deny that it hurts. She acknowledges that it destabilizes you. But she also makes it clear that breakups expose truths you couldn't see while you were in love. That's powerful. Because it suggests she values clarity over comfort. And that means if a relationship stops feeling aligned, she won't cling to it just to avoid public embarrassment or loneliness. Here's the controversial part. Taylor doesn't romanticize staying. She romanticizes learning. That's a huge distinction. For someone at her level, global fame, public scrutiny, constant pressure, choosing to walk away isn't weakness. It's control. So when people speculate about her current relationship, they miss something critical. If it stops serving her emotional growth, she will leave. Not dramatically. Not recklessly. But deliberately. Throughout her career, breakups haven't destroyed her identity. They've sharpened it. Each one seems to move her closer to emotional precision, clearer boundaries, clearer needs, clearer standards. Which tells us something very important. She doesn't see breakups as the end of love. She sees them as the end of illusion. So how does Taylor Swift really feel about breakups? She respects them. She feels them deeply. But she doesn't fear them. And that might be the most dangerous thing about dating her. Because if love stops growing, she won't hesitate to outgrow it.